Well, we finally have two trucks in the garage once again. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to your garage. So as you can see, all of the shuffling around in the garage, building our shelves, all that, we now have two trucks in the garage once again. I was also able to accomplish this by putting the drag truck on these skates here. As you can see, these are actually just some ones off of Amazon. They're supposed to be rated at like, I think 1,500 pounds each. So that means 3,000 in the front. So it might be a little too heavy. We're still way front end heavy on the drag truck. But in the back, just skated that thing right over. Had to kind of push and pull and all kind of stuff up front, throw my body weight around. Once I got the second gen in here, I was actually able to push it over with my feet and get it up against the wall. So we now have two trucks in the garage and we can get to work on the second gen. Like I've been telling you guys previously that I wanted to start doing some stuff to this. Now it's in the garage. After I get done talking to you, I can close the doors and fire up the heater and we can be nice and warm working on the second gen. So also, if you guys saw the previous video, at the beginning of the video, I started the second gen to move it out of the way so we could clear some trees. Well, it didn't start up right away like in the video. It actually, the battery on this thing, it needs a new battery, really. With the cold and all, it just didn't want to start that day. Just like at the beginning of this video. So we actually have a jump starter from Adu. These guys reached out to me to check it out, so I figured, hey, why not? My last little jump pack that I had actually had an unfortunate demise in a four-wheeler incident. When I sunk the four-wheeler, I had my jump pack with me and destroyed it. But as you guys could hear from the video, putting that thing on there, the 24 valve was able to crank right over and start up. So this thing is pretty handy. It's rather small. It actually tells you the battery percentage, which is nice rather than just having some bars. Also, you know, you can charge your cell phone from it and miscellaneous devices like that, but it also has wireless charging. So if your cell phone has a wireless charging feature, you can charge it with that, and it comes with this nice little carrying case. So you guys, you know, I played the two clips so that way you guys can hear, you know, the difference between having this thing and not. We definitely need to get a battery for the second gen, but with no grid heater and only having one battery, having something like that was definitely handy. There will be a link down in the description, so if you want to get one of those, it's the Adu 188. It, like I said, it started the second gen pretty easily. It's supposed to have peak current of 1,500 amps, and it's a 18,000 milliamp hour battery. So check that out. There'll be a link down in the description so you guys can actually save some money on that. So anyway, on to the second gen. What are we going to be doing in the second gen? So we got the second gen a while back and we did a few upgrades up front. We threw a fluid amper on there. We put an air dog on it to make sure we're getting good fuel to our VP44 because it is still a VP44 truck. Also, we put a set of 90 horsepower flux diesel injection injectors in it, and this thing is a blast to drive, but I really didn't drive it all that much. And the reason for that is there's a little bit of a safety concern with the second gen, and it's probably part of the reason that this thing was so cheap to begin with. I mean, the fact that it's two-wheel drive, and I live in a state where snow happens occasionally. But our big safety issue is probably one reason that, and as you guys can see, the rockers and the cab corners are shot, which we will need to do something about. So it probably didn't want to pass inspection, but it definitely wouldn't pass inspection because, as you guys can see, our cab mount is shot. So our cab mounts on both sides of the cab are just completely trashed. So they need taken care of. So this didn't really worry me too much when I went and looked at it, because I figured we could get the guys at Peach Bottom Auto Body to take care of that. But I got looking around, and you know what? I think we can try and tackle this. Now, I'm going through this because the truck actually has some good bones to it. I mean, if you look at the frame is in really good shape. It's not all rusted and rotted, all that. Thanks to our old 1998 Cummins leaks, everything is well lubricated, all that. But both front cab mounts are completely shot, as you guys can see. I mean, that thing's just not in good shape at all. But other than that, our rockers and cab corners, the thing is in pretty good shape. I have been looking for a bed for it to try and kind of match the old color of it. But as far as our cab mounts go, I was able to pick some up. These are from Body Shop Price. You can get them on eBay, or you can get them from Body Shop Price's website. So these are some nice reproduction cab mounts. I painted them so that way they would be, rust proof. I also have some other weld-on primer, or weld-through primer that we could put on there when we get to it. But I just wanted to get a coat of paint on the whole thing. Like I said, they come raw. They also come with the plates, so that way you can actually bolt your cab mount up to it. So we picked these up, like I said, Body Shop Price. So that's going to be our task for tonight once we get our garage doors closed and our heater on. But we are going to get the cab unbolted and try and jack it up a little here. And then we're going to go through and try and get at least the passenger side mount off. And then what we'll do is we'll put it in, figure out where we're going to weld, and then clean off our Body Shop Price piece and, get it welded in. I don't know if we'll get that far tonight. We'll probably just hopefully get it out. But anyway, that's one reason I really didn't drive this thing too much, was because, well, yeah, cab mounts are kind of important. Well, I mean, we got mounts here, we got mounts back there, but it's something that needs fixed. The truck can't be inspected until we get that done. So anyway, that's our job for tonight. We're going to try and get that cab mount off, we're going to try and get it off and go from there. So anyway, guys, let's get to it. All right, so we got our mount out. Actually, not too bad. As you guys can see, I had to use a variety of different tools. Had to sand some of the spot welds off. I used 90-degree drill with a spot weld drill on it, and then I used a regular drill. What I did on the ones that I could get to, I just drilled up with a smaller bit, and then so I wasn't having all kinds of metal shavings coming down on me. I then drilled down through, and what we'll do is when we go back with this, we'll spot weld from the floor down on those. That way we're not laying under the truck and all that. Only got one little area here where I wasn't able to really get the spot weld because of the mount here. Also, I was trying to save the bolt for the mount itself, which I should definitely, we're at this, I might as well get new mounts, new body mounts. So our floor, as you can see here, is a bit degraded. Let me see here. But poking at it, it's still pretty solid. So I think what we'll do is we'll clean that up. We'll get a coat of paint on there, and then that should be good. We also have to, you know, sand down areas or grind down areas here where we use the spot weld drill against the body. Those we will have to spot weld underneath the truck. The rest will come up here into the cab, and all those holes that we see on the floor, we'll just have to clean this insulation material or whatever. We'll have to get that off, and then we will just spot weld down. And what I'll do is if I can get in here to these holes, I will drill those holes through so we can do that all the way around. And really the only ones we'll have to do from underneath the truck are the ones on the side of the rocker. So here's the pile of crap I already swept up, and here's the rest of the crap underneath of the truck that yeah, so that's how much crap was up in there. The whole thing was just crumbling to pieces. Our mount actually wasn't doing anything. I guess a little bit of this was collapsed and sitting on it, but as you can see, just completely trashed. I did bend stuff out of the way, like I said, trying to save the bolt. But luckily, we're fortunate, and I keep all of my bolts and stuff. And as you can see here, a 4th gen body bolt works. So we will be good there. I think we'll actually just even be able to use that with the washer, which that washer might come off. But anyway, we'll figure it out and get our mount in there. So what I want to finish doing is drill those holes up through, clean up that rust, also clean the places where we use the spot weld drill up, so that way we can kind of get our mount in, figure out where, I guess it's this one. Yeah, this one. So we'll figure out where on here our spot welds are going to be, and then I can clean those areas off. We'll be able to use a weld through primer on that. So yeah, not too bad. Definitely a safety glasses must job because of all the rust and crap, but drilling through, I saw somebody else on YouTube do that, just drill through with a smaller bit and then drill down through the cab and then spot weld inside. So we'll clean the rest of this up and yeah, call it a day. Definitely got to order body mounts. Well, I didn't really record, I don't think I recorded anything to be honest, but there wasn't really much to show you guys. So as you guys can see, I got everything cleaned up, looking good. I primered it just with normal spray primer, and then with the copper color is actually a weld through primer. So anywhere where there's going to be weld, any of our spot weld holes, I did that. Also, if you guys see right here, we actually have one spot where we have where the metal's thin going into the cab of the truck. So what I'm going to do is probably patch that from the inside, and then that'll be taken care of. But other than that, cleaning up the rust, everything turned out pretty good. Also got all of our stuff here on the sides with the weld through primer looking good. Then on the inside of the cab, I actually have all of our holes cleaned up. So there's our holes that are coming through with the rust. But all of our holes here I have cleaned up. I just used this little wire brush on the end of my drill, and that actually went right through this sound insulation stuff. So got those all cleaned up, so when we put our piece up, we'll be able to do all of our spot welds right through the floor, making things easier. We only have to get under there for the side ones, which, let me grab the piece. I got it sitting in the house. So I cleaned the paint off of this edge. That's the edge that will be up, I guess it'll be this way, up against the truck. And then I did the same thing on the edges here where it's going to be welded through. Also, I drilled holes in it because these are the ones that we can't get from inside the cab. So I just kind of matched what came out, same kind of hole pattern as that. So we should be good to go. We're going to let everything dry overnight, and yeah. So this was not as bad or difficult as a job as I would have, as I was thinking it was going to be. So this is the weld through primer I got. It's a copper based. From what I had looked, this U-pole is supposed to be pretty good, and the copper is what, from my research, what seemed to be what most people recommended. There's a couple different ones or whatever. Also, I said before about getting new body mounts. And I pulled this thing apart and cleaned it up, and the body mounts look great. So other than cleaning this metal piece up, which the rubber doesn't want to come off it, right there it goes. Come on, get off. Other than cleaning this metal piece up and throwing a coat of paint on it, the actual rubber mount itself is in great shape, so there's no need to really get a new one of these. So that's good. But yeah, so we're working on our second gen stuff. I have a lot more plans for the truck, but this is something that definitely needed taken care of. And now that we have room to have it in the garage, this is just so much better than having it out in the driveway. I'd be freezing all night, and in and back and forth, in and out. Right here had the heater on, except for when I was talking to you guys, and it was just nice and comfortable to go over to the toolbox, whatever, not crawling around in the driveway. So definitely happy about that, happy with the progress tonight. Definitely was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but that's kind of having the right tools. So when we ripped the 4th gen apart, I guess a couple winters ago, and I used spot weld drills and stuff like that, definitely made the job easy. Places where we couldn't drill through, like on the backside of the rocker, used spot weld drill. All the ones we could get to from the, for the floor, we just drilled straight through. And a couple of them we had to actually use a sander because we couldn't get behind the actual frame mount for the cab mount. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. We're going to be getting to some more second gen content, and just kind of moving right along with this thing. I got kind of some big plans for the second gen. Let me know what you guys want to see with it. I definitely got some stuff that I want to do to this thing that I think will be a little different. But anyhow, yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrench on your truck.